Streamview is still Devon.
There we go. That should work now. Now they can hear us.
There we go. Sounds on now.
Go for it.
Hello, everyone.
It does help if I hit the right buttons. I know. It's Look, all
Just
right.
looking out for you.
Hey, I appreciate that because that would have messed up my recording too and everything. So, going back to what I said before anybody else could hear us, when last we left our heroes, Nate the Human Ranger, Gobx the Allen Hexblade, Othokent the Lizard Folk Life Domain Cleric, Talah the Half-Orc Druid, and Abraham Grissom the Human Wizard. Our motley crew of soon-to-be heroes and at least friends were invited on a covert mission to help investigate one of the senators who seems to be at the center of a lot of corruption when it comes to the financing of the military. Specifically, his docks are the ones that import all the weapons and build all the ships. And he's been pushing heavily for a new act to bolster the arms of the city. Upon achieving access to the sales level through an invite to the forecastle, they went to the senator's home where they met several different fun characters that are in my notes. I promise they're in here. So this is where they met a second senator by the name of Wycliffe. He is one of the course sale members. His wife, Mrs. Wycliffe. They met Bendil Horngold, who's the admiral of the Corvettes, the person in charge of both the police and the army for the city. This was Senator Cormoran's home, who is the person that they suspect. There was also the Captain Burge present, who was the satyr who completely and legitimately paid out the bounty they earned. And then a fun tiefling by the name of Thorne Shadowstrike. He is one of the judges of the city. And they sat down to a nice dinner after Talah stalked another lady to the bathroom and back. Lots of snide comments were made between Talah and Mrs. Wycliffe. And after enjoying the first course of the meal, a scream was heard. And when we left off, everybody had gone into the hallway where they found Mrs. Wycliffe laying in a pool of her own blood. And that's where we're going to pick up this week. So, you guys have just entered the hallway. So, first and foremost, we'll do this one first because it's something I'd already talked to Doc about. So, we're going to dive right into it. Doc.
Yeah.
For Gobs, could you please be kind enough to give me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, God.
Oh, please, no.
Blood, death, and vengeance.
No.
Blood for the blood god. Let's go. So, as you walk in and that musty iron smell hits your nostrils, you feel a pulse kind of run through you. You feel it's almost like you can taste anger. You can taste that vengeance, that desire to borrow a phrase from a certain other franchise, rip and tear, so to speak. But it's not mindless, it's not reckless, it's not overpowering, but you can feel that presence in the back of your mind. It doesn't have a problem with what it sees and what you smell. It's comfortable around this environment, if that makes any sense.
I think I get what you're going at, yeah?
Also, I need perception checks from, I think, everybody.
Wow.
We're rolling great
Holding on
tonight,
strong.
guys.
Awesome. Let me look at the stats on this person.
It's a sign of greatness.
We were doing the thing where we can't roll under passive.
I mean, that's in the core rules.
But DM
Yeah,
decides.
Does anybody have a passive perception higher than 19?
No.
15, so no.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So yeah, this is kind of in the hallway towards the ladies' room because remember her stomach started bothering her, and she'd gone towards the restroom before you heard the scream. But she is laying there in a pool of her own blood.
Who screamed?
Was it her voice
Trying
screaming?
to think of what kind of a check would that be. Let's do for anybody who wants to know that. Give me an insight or a perception, whichever's higher.
Oh. It's the same. I'll go insight. Nope.
Okay. So Abraham and Nate, you believe it to have been her. It was her that was screaming. Gobs, not only did you hear the scream, but you, at the tail end of it, you even picked up the gurgle as something was inhibiting her ability to pass air through her body.
Okay.
As in, the blood started getting into her lungs and throat.
Yeah, she choked on it.
Yeah. So what would you guys like to do?
What did Talah hear?
Talah farted really, really loud. And that's what also distracted Othokent, because it's like, it's odd that a young lady with that little food would have that kind of gas problems.
It's from
And
the crabs still.
Yeah, and he started going through in his head, kind of a medical diagnosis, and it distracted him. It was very unladylike.
Talah isn't very ladylike.
So you guys have all entered the hallway. Time is kind of stopped right now.
What is the
So
response from guards, patrons, visitors, guests? Like, what's everybody else doing?
well, so you guys have just gotten into the hallway. I was giving you guys the opportunity to react before they do.
Okay. So then none of them reacted to the screen. They all kind of carried on with dinner.
No, they all ran into the hallway with you. Like everybody
Oh.
dashed out there. It's just
Okay.
I didn't know if you guys were going to say rush up and try to stop the bleeding or start immediately
So we're
running
all
past
in
her
the-
to find something.
So we're all, not just us, the party.
Yeah.
But we are all in the hole.
You can give me a perception check to see who is and isn't there if you'd like.
Yeah, can I join in on that? Because I would like to see if there was anyone who didn't react like they were in a panic, more like they were expecting something.
Sure. And guys, because this is going to be kind of a murder mystery, you guys have to tell me what you want to do. I'm trying not to let the NPCs lead everything. But yeah, you gotta
it's
give me stuff.
Totally
Yeah.
understandable. Well, I
Yeah.
needed the scene painted
Sure.
in front of my eyes. My mind's
No. I get that. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So all the guests are in this hallway, and we're standing around, or we're kind of like in a circle around the body, and we're kind of
Yeah.
in the forefront.
Well, so the way I picture it is like when you step into the front room of this
Mhm.
house, right? There's two
Mhm.
kind of halls on the sides of the stairwells that go to the bathrooms. To the right was the room that you guys were in for the drinks, the kind of meeting room. To the left was the dining room. So you guys are out in the foyer looking down the hallway and see a body or a person, see her laying
Okay.
there in her pool of her own blood.
Gotcha.
So you guys
we're
have all
kinda
just
like,
kind of rushed out and gone, and that's the moment we're at.
I'm
Okay,
gonna go and
is it-
try and provide medical attention.
Okay, hold on. Is anybody else doing a perception check
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
I
see
wanted
if
to,
there's like
but-
any.
Yeah.
When we're
to
looking
notice who
around.
all's there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if anyone reacted weirdly to this, or would that be inside?
From a 1 to a 20.
Pendulum swing. There you go,
Hello?
Gobs. Solidarity.
Yours would be insight because you're actually checking to see how people are reacting. Nexus, they're checking to see who's there.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope.
So just to cover, Abraham and Gobs, you guys are kind of focused on the body on the ground. Nate, you notice. Let's see where. I've got too many notes for all this stuff. Cormoran is right next to you, and he is shocked. Senator Wycliffe is there, and he's taken a tissue out and is holding it to his face. Ben Dill is there, and he's kind of towers over everybody from behind. He has an immediate look of concern on his face. Thorne Shadow Strike, it kind of has a curious smirk on his face as he's sipping brandy. Talah.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing that you notice, I'm going to give you two things since you rolled a nat 20. One thing we missed a minute ago. Number one, Thorne did not come from the dining room. He came from, like, the direction he came from. You caught it out of the corner of your eye. He came out of that room to the side where you guys were having the drinks. Number two, Captain Burge is not with you. No, Thorne is the he's the council member who's the tiefling, who's very aloof and very pretty and thinks a lot of himself.
Aye.
All right, now let's go to our doctor first. You were wanting to run up and give medical assistance, correct?
Yes.
Okay. As you begin to run up, go ahead and give me a medicine check. She dead. Like she is dead. She has a in the middle of her stomach, right below the breasts, right where the diaphragm is where the blood seems to be coming from. Hornbald immediately goes, "Nobody touch anything." And he pulls out a radio and starts radio and says, "Yes, there's been an incident. Locked down the sales level and locked down, place guards outside of Senator Cormoran's home. There's been a murder, and secure everything now. No one is leaving until we know what has happened here." Shadow Strike goes, "Oh, wonderful. It's dinner and entertainment.
What's
This
wrong
is
with you?
entertaining?
Everything's entertaining, dear." Cormoran just looks at him and goes, "Captain
What?
Shadow Strike, I would expect some more decorum out of someone of your stature.
What
So
kind
please."
of horrible existence are you?
"Oh, everything's an adventure, dear doctor. Everything." Whew.
If he's part of the ruling class of this city, then we truly are going to hell.
Sounds quite twisted.
And Senator Wycliffe goes, Is she all right?"
She is dead.
No, not my wife." He begins
How's
crying.
his acting?
You can give me an insight check.
Was about to say.
Anybody else?
Ah, heck, why not?
I'm too busy being offended.
So
Clutch your pearls.
So for Abraham and Milla, he's hard to read, right? And you're also distracted by, the body. For Talah and Nate, he's not as upset as he's pretending to be. And he covers his face and has crocodile tears coming down his cheeks as Cormoran goes, "Come now, be strong. Let's get you over here and get you a drink." And he begins to take him into the side room.
I just give Pip a look. Like,
And
catch
Pip
that
not
too?
nods.
Mhm.
About that moment, walking up holding a bowl from behind you guys is
Purge.
yeah, it's Captain Burge, and he still has a napkin tucked in his shirt, and he's got a bowl of the soup, and he's like, wow. Seems like they're not as far above us as we thought, are they? As he sips on the soup. Good soup, though.
Something is very wrong with these people.
Yeah, you don't say. I
You know,
know
I
I was
immediately
poking
regret
fun at
coming
her,
here.
but
Yeah.
Now, Captain Burge. Remember, you're a member of the constabulary. I expect you, on your utmost behavior, put that soup down and assist in helping us figure out what happened here.
Yeah,
All right,
do your
all right.
freaking job.
Hey, I don't need lip from you, little
Apparently
girl.
you do. Because your first reaction when you heard a scream was to eat some soup.
How's that different from you, lizard boy?
I ran here to try and help. I don't like what you're insinuating.
Yeah, but now you know what you're having for dessert, don't you? And he
hey, back off!
easy. I like them when they start bossing me around.
I'm going to give you one chance to retract that statement.
Nah,
I
I'm
didn't-
good.
I did not study in this city for the last couple of years to become a doctor to be insulted by some two-bit idiot.
Hey, I cost 4 bits.
Yeah, and you can't count.
Yeah, I sure can't, can I?
No.
And he begins to walk back into the dining room to put his plate down. He goes, "All right, I'll go talk to the I'll go talk to the help and see what they saw."
No wonder the mizzen is such a mess.
Let me start calling in, see if I can get some investigators up here. And Horngold starts to step kind of to the other side of the room, starts making phone calls. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to take a look around the room itself, looking for doors that are left open or any of the staff that has been watching for a while. Basically, checking the staff more so than just the dinner guests.
Gotcha. Give me an investigation check. So there are some staff kind of because like down the hallway that she was coming from is where you also get to the kitchen. So there's kind of a huddle of maids down there, just kind of looking down. Hands over their mouths, just shocked, surprised, talking, whispering to each other. You don't see any doors that are necessarily left open. You do notice going in that direction a partial footprint of blood, as in when she fell and started bleeding, somebody got a little bit of blood on their shoe and and took off in that general direction.
All right. I'm going to take a good photo of that. And I'm going to call out like, hey, there's a footprint over here.
Okay. All right, so we'll hold there. What else is anybody else doing? Abraham,
Probably
give me
trying to calm Otho down.
Abraham, give me an insight check on the help, since you're looking that direction. Abraham? Did we lose him again? No, we cannot
No, we
hear
cannot.
you. Probably. Yeah, it probably would explain a lot. Only this time it's not my fault. So, while we wait for him to come back, or get his mic working, What else? So, you're calming down
Testing.
Othokent. There he is. Go for it. What were you going to say, Abraham?
I was going to pull up my character sheet, but I was in the middle of updating something.
Ah, okay.
So I was caught in the middle of trying to do two things.
All right. While you're doing that, so Talah, you're calming down Othokent. Othokent, what are you doing? Anything else there at the body?
You know what? For now, I'm just gonna keep an eye on it.
Okay. Are you going to investigate it at all? Are you going to look at it?
No, he's
I'm going-
putting Abraham's eye on it.
No, I'm going to at least put on some medicinal gloves, sanitize up, and see if I can check out for something without ruining too much potential evidence.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a medicine check with advantage because Talah's helping calm you down. It was supposed to be an insight, Abraham, not a perception.
Can I cast guidance on myself?
Mm-hmm.
Right, then I do so.
Okay.
Worse.
You can. There's nothing really strange that you're seeing there. And Othokent, yours was supposed to be medicine.
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Apology.
Sure. There we go. And one thing you do notice is while you're kind of watching them, the satyr does kind of push past him. Get out of the way. Out of the way. Let's go see what's going on here, and kind of pushes his way into the kitchen. You hear some plates kind of shuffle and a pan hit, and you can hear a cook going, "You're not supposed to just grab the meat like that. Ah, whatever. I gotta eat. I gotta work. I gotta eat." And he starts doing all of that. Othokent, or Nate, what are you doing?
Oh, I just wrote.
Okay.
Nate is trying to get an overview on people and see if anyone is acting any suspiciously or trying to get rid of whatever or hide
Okay.
something.
Give me an insight, investigation, and perception check. Me all three.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay. So, couple things. One, you're having trouble reading people, right? Because that's not
Yeah.
really your strong point, so that makes kind of
Yeah, I
sense.
know.
As you look around the room, something you notice: the body has a knife in its hand. You do see the Thorne has he's kind of walked up. He's keeping his distance, but he's like standing on his tippy toes and looking over Othokent's shoulder. He's just kind of peeking at what he's doing, still sipping on his brandy. You also notice that a Horngold, he's just in the corner. He's very concerned. Yes, get that detective. Need this. Pull any records we have on all these people. Pull everything we've got on all the staff. Yada yada. He's telling everything to pull, all that kind of stuff. So he's kind of caught up in that. You do hear the clinking of glasses and stuff from the other room as Cormoran is getting Senator Wycliffe a drink. The boo-hooing has kind of stopped, which you didn't believe in the first place. So that's kind of the situation of things. So that's what all you catch.
Okay,
Othokent.
cool.
Nate, do you happen to point out that knife to Otho?
Yeah, because that is odd.
So, couple things you see here, Otho. Number one, it was a single stab wound up to the chest. It went in deep, and that's nicked the heart, which is why she died so quickly and why there's so much blood. That also explains the gurgling sound because when it hit that the pulmonary artery, it started filling into the lungs as well. One thing that's interesting, you don't see any. There's no defensive wounds. There's nothing like that. The other thing is that the knife she's holding in her hand and her hand itself does not have any blood on it on the front. There's some on the on kind of on the sides because where the arm's laying and the blood kind of pooled around it. And that dagger that she's holding is very wide, where the stab wound in her chest is not. So that is not the knife that was used to stab her.
This knife was planted.
How do you know?
I will tell you this: she has a very firm grip on it. As in, because you got a really high score, I would say sometimes muscles tense up when they die, when people die. That hand was tensed up around it when she died.
No, it wasn't
Right, to
planted.
defend herself.
She took it up to protect herself from someone. She definitely didn't just get a feeling to kill herself in the middle of nowhere.
It also indicates that it wasn't one of the situations where she recognized the person and they got close. She pulled it to defend herself. So she knew there was a danger coming towards her.
Definitely. Very quick, very proficient stab wound ran into the chest, nicked an artery. Dead almost immediately. Whoever did this is good at this. That is horrifying.
So, Sunscream, who is still standing around us right now?
At the moment, in this area, the only people that are there is Thorne Shadow Strike. He's just kind of watching what you guys are doing, and he's got a little smirk on his face. He's entertained by it all and curious. And then Bendil Horngold is kind of standing off to the side on the phone.
But Thorne is staring at us intently, basically, so listening in to what we say and all that.
Yeah, he's like a curious onlooker. He's got his brandy in one hand, his hand behind the other, and he's like, "Oh, interesting."
Right, right.
He's not saying anything. He's not getting in the way. He's just observing, and whenever one would go to move, he does that thing. You know how people do that wide step and kind of pull themselves off to the side and be like, "Oh, sorry, didn't mean to be in your way." But he's not saying anything. He's just watching. He's observing.
Right.
He's taking everything you guys are doing.
So that also means that I can't talk smack about him right now. Okay.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go AFK for a moment because I thought I heard the door, and I'm still waiting for my food to arrive.
Sure.
Was there anything on the knife? Like, was there anything to note?
Nope. Just that
holding
she had one, and it was too big to have made the wound.
So now we know we are looking for some kind of stabbing weapon.
What type of knife is it that she has? Is it like an actual dagger or a table knife or kitchen knife?
It looks like a cheap dagger you could buy from any blacksmith.
Can we tell? Oh, sorry.
Oh, there. Oh, door. Let's have a
Okay.
stab at
So, can we tell whether or not her wound is from like a serrated knife? Is it from just a what kind of knife?
I
What we
will
looking for?
say, because he got a pretty good medicine check, I will say it does look like the tip wasn't very sharp. It was more tearing than stabbing, but you can kind of tell when the knife was removed, there was serration on it. So, not a sharp tip, but a serrated blade.
So it does have some serration. That's a rather peculiar kind of knife.
And there was something like an acidic thing.
Test.
Test.
Question for the GM.
Mm-hmm.
What is the general take on casting magic? Like, I'm hesitant to do literally anything because I don't want, what are you doing casting magic in my house or some shit like that?
So at this point, Bourne has probably gone into the other room, into the conservatory, or not the conservatory, the drawing room, where Cormoran and Senator Wycliffe are. So generally it's one of those, like, if there was a person of higher authority, you'd want to probably go like, hey, I'm going to do this. Right now, the only person really in there with you guys is Thorne Shadowstrike. And
Right.
you can give me either a history or an insight or something to see how you think he's going to react to it. Dude is super amused. You're going to be like, I don't think he's going to care as long as it's interesting. He's also well known for being shady AF, as the young folks would say.
Hell yeah, my dude.
Word.
So, Sound, you also said something about an acidic thing? I didn't fully pick up on that.
I don't remember saying anything about acidic. I don't remember saying anything about acidic.
Okay.
Okay.
Did
Might
I say
be me
something
just
and
hearing
did I
things.
miss? Am I forgetting something I said?
I mean, it might also be me just thinking that you said it, but it was a different thing. It's possible. Because otherwise I was like, I have a herbalism kit! I can try and figure this shit out! But
Actually, figuring out if she was poisoned might be a good idea.
yeah.
But
I don't know how I would do
I mean,
that.
blood sample, I'm guessing. But from the description, it was just a stab wound, though.
Yeah.
Um,
But she
Captain
did get
Bird?
nauseous. So.
Captain Burge has already gone back into the kitchen and is off somewhere
Yeah,
else in the house.
but you said he didn't come in the way all the others did.
No,
When eating.
Shadowstrike didn't. Shadowstrike didn't.
Shadowstrike.
He came from
He came from the
uh
side room.
yeah, from the drawing room.
Okay. Could we perhaps just check Shadowstrike, like a slight frisking, and then check the side room?
You're wanting to frisk Shadowstrike?
That's not gonna happen, I know. I'm just gonna mention it to Talah and what's his face, Othokent.
Are
Just
you going
whispering
to
it.
whisper it? Okay. Give me a stealth check with advantage.
I mean, he might just let you if you just ask him nicely, Nate. He might be into that.
Why with the bad rolls?
It was okay.
When you say that, he just leans and goes, "Young man, if you're wanting to fill me up, just have to get me another brandy."
Oh,
He smiles at you.
We can manage that.
Sure, perhaps some other day.
I'll go get him another brandy.
When you come in, he goes, "Ooh, excellent. I like you better. You're soft in all the right places."
Sure. Go for it, Nate.
He holds his arms and he goes, "Oh, you're no fun."
Oh, you said he could do it when someone got you another brandy, so there you go.
I don't lie per se, so by all means, young man.
Okay, time to frisk.
Meanwhile, Othokent is just thinking, please suck the liquid, or please suck the moisture out of the nearest fucking floor tile, you degenerate.
Nate does
So-
have a dagger.
Yeah, he's got a rapier, a very ornate rapier on one side, and he does indeed have a dagger on his other side.
Does he wear a codpiece?
No, that's all him. There's a reason
Oh.
why his intimidates 18 by base.
Oh.
Oh boy.
He's got greater weapon mastery, if you know what I'm saying.
On a different note, dear DM,
With him, it's a
Did
finesse weapon. Go ahead.
did our plates from the mule that she got nauseous by, did they get picked up already, or were they still there?
You'd have to go do an investigation check.
Okay, I'll go back and see if our plates are still there.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Will do.
I have something I wanted to ask.
There you go. No bonuses,
Awesome.
but a net 20.
Awesome. So the plates had been picked up and the other dishes had started to get set out for the main course.
Mhm.
With the nat 20, something you notice.
Yeah.
At every place setting but one, there is a steak knife. The steak knives have a rounded tip on the end and are serrated.
Can I recall who was sitting on that spot?
It is going to be Thorne's spot that the steak knife is missing from.
Okay.
Of course it is.
Also, with that at 20, I will tell you, he wasn't, you're remembering back now, he wasn't in there whenever they changed the dishes out, though.
Okay.
He's being set up.
Yep.
Yep. Either that or this is the most obvious murder mystery ever.
Hey, that's possible too.
But
Well,
yeah,
all
you
the clues
you
point
you
to one guy.
yeah, you see that he's got it's exquisite. I can't talk today. Exquisite. I can't talk. Anyway,
Exquisite.
really fancy leather armor. Think Jarlaxle, but as a tiefling. That's basically what this dude is.
Okay.
So very well dressed. He smells wonderful. Very clean. Right. Dark colors. Red silk interior on his long jacket he's wearing. He is extra in all the wrong ways. For somebody who doesn't want that guy,
Right.
But yeah, but Nexus, you don't find anything unusual. There's no sign of any blood on him. He's got a little bit of gold on him. But other than that, the only thing he doesn't let you touch is he does have a bag of holding on his hip, and he's like, no, I have cargo in there. But he won't let you get in that. But nothing other than that, there's nothing suspicious that you find about him.
Can I ask him if I can, over the open bag, ask for a serrated knife? See if it
By all
pops out.
means. Just don't ask
Right.
for anything illicit, please.
So you're telling me
course
this
not,
guy has
sir.
junk in the trunk?
You
has-
are a judge. You would never.
Well, of course not, my dear boy. What's her name, by the way? I wasn't paying attention earlier.
That is Talah.
Not usually my type. She's not the kind of girl I'd normally want to see coming to me, but when I see her leave, she changes my mind and I want her to come back, if you catch my meaning.
Sure, sir.
Make Pip more uncomfortable, please.
Well, well, you are certainly very healthy, and I don't seem to find what I'm looking for. So, please continue.
I'm just here
Entertaining
to
yourself.
observe. Oh, well, if I was doing that, Hornbolt would definitely arrest me. I haven't done that in public in ages.
Whew.
Entertaining himself? He's turning it into a euphemism?
I get it.
Well, thank you. All right, so
I had a thing I wanted to do.
go for it.
I remember that the murdered woman, whose name escapes me for the moment, she was giving stink eye to one particular maid.
Yes, that is correct. That would be, so this is Mrs. Wycliffe, who's dead. Charlotte, the half-elf head maid, was getting stink eye from her.
Do I see her anywhere?
Good call. You do not.
I'm gonna ask one of the staff, like, hey, where's the the maid with the fancy head thing. I imagine she had something to dignify her as the head maid. And in my head, that's
No,
the
they were all dressed the same. She just was the person that was in charge.
here.
You did hear her name.
Yeah, but Gobx is not good at names.
Okay.
The head, the maid matron.
Give me a persuasion check.
The master maid.
Okay, give me a moment.
Don't do that to me, Cyntari. Jeez.
What?
Isn't that the name of the robot in Spaceballs? Wasn't that Master
That's
Maid?
Mega Maid.
Mega Maid. Okay.
Suck to
Yeah,
blow.
I imagine the persuasion doesn't work.
She goes, I think she went back to her room. She seemed upset.
And where's that?
She points. She goes back through the kitchen. There's a doorway that leads to the servants' quarters.
All right. And with that, she just takes off in that direction.
Oh, as a side note, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. If anybody's watching is a least bit queasy about murder, self-harm, that kind of stuff, probably not the best episode to tune in for.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah, because things are just getting started. Things are just getting started.
Yay,
Oh, wait,
for
Jimmy,
Killing
self-harm.
everybody.
My volume is a lot quieter than the other players.
Not on my end.
No?
Sounds
Good.
fine.
It's just one of the people in the stream
I've
said that.
adjusted him for the stream. Stream person, can you confirm? I'm gonna have Doc talk for like 5 seconds. Let me know if it's better. Doc, go.
This is Doc talking, and I'm making a volume check, and I'm saying random
Yeah, all
words that
good.
make no sense. All right, seems like we're good.
I don't know how to say your name. I'm American. We can't read here. Does it
No.
need to be louder, or is it good now?
Talking.
Well, there is someone saying it is better.
Yes.
All right. We'll stay there. If it needs to go up, I can turn them up some more. Awesome.
Awesome.
All right. Cool. Thank you for letting us know. Oh. Sorry, I have an angry cat. There
You get a
go.
gold star, sir.
I got a sleeping cat. Oh, 2 sleeping
What?
cats.
Well, he was sleeping, but then he's just like, "Hey, your door is shut, bastard. Open it." All right. Anyways, but yeah, so through the kitchen and up a back stairway takes you to the servants' quarters.
All right, I'm gonna hit straight in, just not even gonna consider the fact that I'm not a cop. I'm just walking
Okay.
in.
Alrighty. Yeah, so when you get up there, there's several different doors. Everybody does have their own individual room.
Is anyone else here?
You don't see anybody.
I'm just gonna do that thing where, quickly open a door, look around, and quickly leave again. Leave for the next door, and just do that. Brute force.
All right. On the third door you check, you see... Give me a perception check as you open this door.
Everything.
All right. So I'm going to apologize to you in advance if this offends or brings up bad memories for anybody, because this is not going to be a fun piece here. As you open the door, from the end of the bed, so it's a bed it's a 4-post bed. With the sheets, you see the head maid hanging from the bedpost by her neck.
I am quickly going to take a picture while yelling, "There's another body here!"
Don't eat it.
Don't eat it. That's appropriate. Jeez, the hell,
Sorry, what the
Cyntari?
hell?
What What's wrong with you? What?
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, please.
Wow. Jeez. Chat, if you're
Let's laugh
watching,
at this.
you don't want to know. You just do not want to know.
Can we get that
That
up,
being-
up on stream, please?
No,
No.
no, we cannot. I am not. I'm not going to put that there. But a couple other things with that super high perception check. Because it's something you're going to... And this is going to lean a little bit more investigation, but because you got a nat 20, I want to give you some information. So you see you're hanging there. The bed's a bit off kilter. You can tell things have been knocked around in the room. Drawers have been opened. It looks like there may have been a struggle in here. Or things aren't where they're supposed to be, right? But she is, and I will tell you again because of the nat 20, she is no longer with us. She is definitely dead.
All right. Like I said, I'm gonna yell out so people know.
So perception checks from everybody else to see if you hear Milla, because this is a very big house and she is definitely very far in the back.
Nope.
Nope.
I am flustered.
And
I'm
Talah is
guessing.
just looking at the plates, seeing if she can find whatever it was that, was
Nate
eaten
has the most confusing
by
bone.
White.
Abraham's still casting Detect Magic ritually until the GM says otherwise.
I never heard you say that you were going to do that. I'm sorry.
Oh, now you know. The more you know.
Nothing magical on the body.
Mhm.
Thorne lights up like a Christmas tree. He's got all kinds of magical stuff on him.
Mhm.
There's some magical stuff in the kitchen, but it's like industrial magic type stuff. That you can sense. That's as far as you can sense because it's a limitation through walls and stuff. You do sense where it's very, very faint, but above you on the second floor, you sense something magical upstairs as well.
Okay.
But it's faint. It's like I know I'd have to get closer to see what it is.
And Milla is still on the first floor.
Milla she would be on the second floor, but not above you. So it's like the drawing room and then the rooms you're in are in the front. Then there's a big staircase that winds up.
Mhm.
It kind of goes up and then off to the sides and then up, and that's where like the master bedrooms, the kids' rooms, his study is, and then on the back side of the house is where the servants' bedrooms are.
Okay. So the idea was that I was casting it. I couldn't tell you how long ago I wanted to do it, but if Milla's wandering around, the idea was to stick with her. So I don't know how that coincides if I was still casting when she wandered off.
You would have
kinda
still
know
been
what puts me
casting
up there.
because if you're doing it ritually, it takes 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
she definitely was going to be gone by then. So you would be right at the tail end of your casting and get that get those impressions when you hear when the yell happens. So I'll let you roll perception on it as well. Okay, so Nate and Talah do not hear this. Nate, you're still kind of right next to Talon, having to deal with all that. so you're a bit distracted. Othokent, you hear it very clearly. Abraham, you hear it as well.
Mhm.
Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, he hears it. He goes, "Oh, your little friend has found something. That way. Why don't you go see what it is and tell me what they found?" Is what Talon says to Nate. And what would you
Do
guys like
not
to do?
leave him with the body.
Runs off.
Oh boy.
Gosh darn it. Now,
Milla will have remained just outside the room, like she's not gone in.
So Talah hasn't hurt jack shit, so she is still looking for those plates with the nauseating meal that was on there.
You're hunting for the plates?
Yeah, she went to the kitchen.
Yeah,
I want to see what.
Yeah, they're in the dish. There's somebody was washing them, so they're in the sink.
Okay, so
Isn't
food's
the
gone.
kitchen isn't the kitchen mess because of the police guy?
It is a little bit of a mess. He stormed through there.
Talah,
Hmm?
keep watch over this woman. I have to run.
Oh, okay. I'll go back to the body and Thorne.
I run off to other problematic pastures.
I'll have familiar.
Go ahead.
I'll have familiar Roscoe go join Talah.
Okay. Thorne takes a wide berth of the body because he wants to make sure he doesn't step in anything, and he is following the group that's going to the other body.
Okay.
Talah, I want you to give me a perception check.
With pleasure.
Okay. You are hearing Burke is in the drawing room with Cormoran and Horngold. You don't really hear what they're saying, but Horngold just steps out and goes, "Did they say they found another one?"
I don't know. I was in the kitchen. And then Otho was like, oh, they found something, so now I'm here.
Cormoran, get your people. Get all of them in the dining room. Have them sit on their hands up against the walls. Burke, help him with that. Don't let anybody touch anything. And Horngold begins to... Do you know where they are?
I saw Milla run through the kitchen and to the back.
The guest quarters. Oh, excellent. Thank you. Don't... I appreciate your help, young lady. Don't let anybody touch any of this. Wait. Where's Thorne?
Oh, he went that way too.
He's not at the center of this. I will get him.
Well, Mr. Horngold,
Yes?
I went back to the dining room and, well, his steak knife was missing. And it seems to be the kind of knife that created the wound.
Interesting. But if it was him, why would he use that?
I mean, he also didn't come from the same place as we did, but it seems to be a bit much leading to him, but I thought I'd just tell you.
I appreciate that. Yes, and he's always had a fondness for alcohol, especially when he doesn't have to pay for it, so he came from the drawing room. I observed that as we came out, but he was nowhere near the body. But good observations, young lady. Perhaps I need to have a conversation with you. Maybe you may have some talents for this sort of thing, if it's something you're interested in. But good work. Again, I know where you were when all of this happened, so please just don't touch anything and don't let anybody else touch anything.
I will not touch anything, except for the ground.
Understandable. Your service is appreciated. And he gives you a nod as he begins to walk, and he's like, Where are they? Where are they? And some of the kitchen staff go that way. Okay, good, go. He's starting to direct people in the right way. So, everybody else has gotten upstairs. So Abraham and Othokent and Nate are all upstairs standing at the doorway.
Right, and I left familiar Roscoe down with Talah.
Familiar Roscoe flies down and flies through the kitchen. You hear, "Oh God, what is that?" As he flies past and he lands on your shoulder, Talah.
Well, hi there, Roscoe. And I just start petting him, if he allows me.
He does.
He does. Yeah. Excellent. So, people standing at the doorway. What would you like to do?
Looks like she fought a bit in here. I think this is suicide.
Seems odd if it would be. I'm gonna see if there's a chance of saving her.
She dead.
God damn it. Then I'm gonna
It's just to
investigate.
say,
I'm gonna investigate if there's any other kind of bruises or anything on her. But I need to go real quick.
Are you going to take her down?
No.
I don't know.
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna
we're
try
gonna
to
need,
as
need
much
to
as
wait
this.
for the police.
Yeah, I'm gonna investigate what I can without pulling her down, considering she is.
I
Dead.
want you guys to understand this. If the FBI shows up, you guys are in my defense that this search was for a D&D thing. Because I'm going to search something that is going to get me in trouble.
Oh boy.
Dead bodies hanging from the ceiling.
Also,
I do need the
Is
bathroom real
there-
quick, so I'll be right back.
is there a chair or something that has been kicked off?
The chair.
Not that.
Yes, the chair.
Give me investigation checks for everybody who's looking for stuff.
I'm still detecting magic.
Nothing magical up here.
Oh. Searched in Discord gifts for obviously dead. And the results are not what I expected.
What the fuck?
Okay, cool. All right, let's look at our checks. See where we're at. So, I'm going to start with the lowest and work my way up as you notice different things. Pip, something you notice, and again, everybody who's above Pippin and everybody else sees this. So, she's got a little waste paper basket. You can see, because she's not wearing her top, or for her nurse's outfit, or her maid's outfit. She's taken that shirt off. She just has her undershirt on. Her overshirt is in the trash can, and you can see blood on it. Milla, you see that same thing, but you also see a shiny object underneath the bed. Abraham, with the time that you've spent with different knickknacks and things like that, especially because you've got you see patterns, right? You see things that are unusual. The floorboard is laid out in a very symmetrical pattern, except for there's one board that seems to be, it's like there's two boards where there should just be one, if that makes sense. Like if they were all 2 feet long, this one's 1 foot long, and it's in a weird spot. So there's something unusual about that. Othokent, with your medicine check, something that's weird is when somebody hangs themselves, there's usually like torn muscles in the neck, things like that. You don't see any of that. And that's as much as I can give you on an 18. So that's what you guys see. What else? What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go take a look at what that shiny object is. And since I have Devil Sight, I should see pretty good underneath that bed.
Yeah, you see all
Okay.
the devils.
So I'm going to do that first before we do Cyntari's thing. But when you look underneath the bed, you see a steak knife with blood on it.
I think I found the knife.
Great, get it back to the kitchen so they can clean it.
Oh yeah, great idea.
Give me. This is the best thing I can think of for it. Give me a sleight of hand check, Abraham. Okay. So as you touch the board and you push it, no, there wasn't anything. She just hung. It looks like she just kind of tied it off and then just stepped off the edge of the bed, sort of. You're able to, that board, when you move it just a little bit to the side, it actually pops off and opens. And
So it's like part of a mechanism that like latches and stuff on the board.
Yep. And
Purpose-built
inside,
compartment. What's inside?
it is a diary.
So I take it out and I start reading it.
Oh no, we have another arch.
Oh no, I
You
burned the book. I burn it. I can't be like him.
Okay, so you should see Charlotte's diary now in the documents. Do you see that, Cyntari?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. Oh, I meant to put these in as dates. Each one of those paragraphs is a separate entry, separate dates over about a 2-month time period.
You know, there's no dates there, but I literally assumed that.
Nobody's questioned anybody yet, Nari.
I mean, we felt the body of the tiefling.
Oh my.
Eh.
Now, Sint, do you want me to read it out loud, or do you want to read everything that's in there out loud for everybody?
We need to hear it in the maid's voice.
Yes.
Oh.
That means Nari has to read it. Look, I can't do blackface. I can't do woman face. What do you want from me?
I can do an even more high-pitched voice if you want me to.
I need you
Here.
to do anime
Ugh.
voice.
Here, I'm gonna share it with everybody. Nari, if you would be kind enough to read it.
My voice or just a voice?
A voice.
Oh boy. Let's go.
Oh, well.
Be serious about it, please.
Ooh, woo.
He's a French maid.
Oh, well. Oh, oui.
Jeez.
Oui, I am French.
We have a lot of respect for the
Croissant.
here on.
What about my wee?
Hey, I went to Paris last week, so I've heard a lot of bad English.
All right, so please, if you will, Nari.
Well, where it be?
Under documents,
see it.
Charlotte's
Somebody-
diary.
Oh, there it is. Found it. I saw Harold in the market again. I know he's married, but he is so sweet to me. He bought me a pretty necklace and asked if I could sneak out to a little place in the mainmast tonight. It feels good to be wanted by such an important man. In between the times we're enjoying each other's company, Harold asks a lot of questions about Lord Cormoran. Sometimes I wonder if he is only interested in me for what I know about Cormoran and what I can do for him that His wife doesn't anymore. Harold asked me to help him embarrass Cormoran. I don't want to, but he said that rumors of our involvement could start to spread around. That would cost me my job, and I'd never be able to work in the sales again. I'm such a fool. I'll take the damn gold pin, but this is the last thing I do for him. That son of a bitch didn't even come to see me himself this time. He sent that foul satyr, Captain Burge. They want Cormoran's journal. I don't know where it is. I cleaned this home from top to bottom, and I've never seen it except when it's in his hands. Burge slapped me and told me a whore shouldn't talk back and do what she's told. He threw a copper piece at me and walked off laughing. One of the other girls knows of a younger sergeant who may be able to help me. I'm done. I don't care what happens to me now. I just want Whitecliff to pay and Cormoran to be safe from these jackals. Tomorrow night there is a big dinner that is very important to Lord Cormoran. After that he will have time to replace me, but he needs my help for this. I'll send a note to the sergeant saying I'm willing to give a statement.
Good job. Thank you very much, Nari.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte.
So
Okay,
if you
Harold.
remember, the sergeant that put you on this said that he had an informant in the home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is that informant then.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get inspiration? I think-
Nari gets inspiration.
No. Nari does. Yep.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
You hear a throat clear behind you. Doctor. Oh,
So that's you.
I think John is still in the John.
God
Yeah.
I
damn
am
it,
back.
John.
John
Hey!
He missed all of that. Wow.
Do you want me to do it again?
Yes.
No.
It
John,
won't be the same.
Do me a favor. If
Yeah.
you look in the documents, you're now going to see Charlotte's diary.
Ugh.
Somebody
You
clip
probably-
it for John.
And please read it in this tone of voice in your head.
All right.
So
Okay.
Hermione?
And then you hear a throat
Yes.
clear behind you and go, Doctor,
Yes.
it's Thorne. He goes, I don't mean to intrude on your expertise here. I can see it a little bit. Could you possibly pull the sheet down a little bit on her neck?
Of course. Considering I think I'm the only one who has sterile gloves and other things. Pull it down a bit.
As you do, he goes, see, that bruising, that's not from hanging. That's from strangulation. I'm familiar with that bruising.
From
For
where
different
are
reasons.
you
Personal experience.
Call him A, call him B. So Harold Wycliffe is the senator whose wife is dead downstairs.
Right.
and who was not all that sad about it?
Mm-hmm. Yep, because he's been banging the maid of his enemy.
Oh, that's because I'm looking at the notes that says wide cliff.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
never saw it spelled out.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
Thank
here
you.
go
Yeah,
my
Wycliffe.
notes.
yeah. Sorry about that. So yeah, Harold
prefer
Wycliffe was.
Wycliffe.
Yeah. So basically, he was sleeping with the head maid of Cormoran, and was using her to get information on him. So including his. If you notice, she mentions the pen. If you guys remember, you found that sale pen. That's only members of the sales have. You found
Yeah.
that pen, and his is missing. So that's where that pen came from, and you found it at the site of the cultist group. It's a meeting.
And he was the one who showed up and didn't pay us. and shut
No.
us off.
Burke didn't pay you.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's Burge.
Yeah.
That's Burge. Yeah, Burge didn't pay you.
You know, maybe it's time we question Burge, because this is incriminating, right?
Mm-hmm. So that's up to you guys.
Well, the thing is, for now, Burge and Wycliffe are the main authorities here.
Yeah, that is
Yep.
true.
So we'd
Authority
have to
doesn't.
challenge them with
And
some sort of
As a
backup.
side note, Cormoran is equivalent to Wycliffe, and
Sure.
Horngold doesn't answer to anybody but the full council.
Also, what does the authority mean if everyone dies?
True Horngold is there.
Yeah.
Oaths on the murder.
Shadow Strike is a bit too kinky.
Yes, I am. I'm also standing right behind you.
Oh,
Jesus.
Doesn't change
Oh.
facts.
I wasn't disagreeing with it. How
He's
else do you
also
think I
covered in
recognize those
magical.
strangling? Yeah, I mean, how else do you think I recognize that particular strangulation marks?
is that your baton, sir?
Can be yours later.
Go
Anyway,
copulate with a
so
bitch.
just to be clear, let's cover everything so we're all on the same page. So you found the missing steak knife, which was under her bed. She's got blood on the knife and blood on her top, which she had taken off. She's was hung to look like she had been she committed suicide, but there's evidence that she was dead before she was hung up. The wife was downstairs, was giving her the stink eye, so it's probable that she had figured out that Wycliffe and her had been having some fun. She was going to be the informant, and the only other thing. So you haven't interrogated anybody, and there's still something magical on the second floor that you guys have not investigated.
Right, and I
Oh.
was trying to get to that. You said that
Sure.
Milla was up on the second floor looking at the dead body, so I figured we just kind
Well,
of
yeah, it's on the back half. There's a set of doors you can go through to the upper level and head that way if you want to.
I do want to. I'm going.
Yeah,
that way.
let's.
Oh, Othokent, can I ask you a question?
Sure, ask away.
Way the blood is on her shirt. That like natural splashes, or as if someone has dried the blood off their hands into her shirt?
What do I think it looks like in my professional opinion?
Give me a medicine check with advantage.
Will do.
When you hold up the shirt and look at it, it's very much in the same way that you would expect if she was the person who stabbed the wife, that the blood would have spilled onto the hands and the wrists. So, based off of everything, you're pretty sure she's the one who did the stabbing downstairs.
Considering the pressure coming from an artery and all those things, it definitely seems likely that this is indeed caused by a stab.
Okay, so she did do the deed, but someone cleaned up after her.
She was likely coerced into it. I mean,
Yes.
if the note in the diary is anything to go by, assuming that thing was not also planted. Does the handwriting match between the different pages in the diary?
It does.
All right.
I'm still going on my stance that all of these people are indeed horrible.
You are not wrong. All right. By the way, Abraham, you've been sort of staring at the wall for a while. What are you looking at?
Magic. There's
What?
a magical aura over there. I would like to go investigate it.
Well, might as well.
Just a precaution, none of us are going alone while all of this is happening.
Oh no, I'm not letting Abraham go anywhere alone. Not
Like
anymore.
we're back to back, all pointed at the four corners of the compass.
I
No
will
kidding.
hold your penis when you pee, sir.
Wipe me.
Jeez. Okay. So, who's being attacked by a cat?
That's Cyntari.
I think it's
My
Cyntari.
mom's cat.
It's
Aww.
She's actually
Oh.
biting kind of hard.
She wants pet.
Give me attention, father.
She wants beat on the butt. She wants spanked, and then she wants to get violent about it.
Do it.
All right. So, as you come
I had
out of
an
the
ex like
servant's
that.
room, following this magical trail, right above, just as you would, if you were coming up through the main stairs, up and to the right, is where the magic is coming from. It's coming from his study, from Lord Cormoran's study.
I mean, it could just be his stuff, but might as well check. Actually, is Lord Cormorant anywhere around here?
He's still downstairs. So
He's
they've got
prime suspect, as far as I'm concerned, in a conspiracy in order to provoke some sort of action in order to get more political pull.
That could be it.
Sure. So he's downstairs in the drawing room with Lord Wycliffe, Mr. Captain Burge, and Horngold. Right now, that's where they are at.
So all the three suspects are in the same room talking. From what I'm hearing.
Probably complaining about the four of us doing something about this. Finding some way to pin it on us.
Well, one of them is.
Well, I'm at the door of the study. Is it open?
It is unlocked.
I go inside.
When you go inside, the magical thing that you sense is. So I'll tell you, there's a lot of nautical themed things here. Because he is a former captain, so he was a merchant captain. What you see is the magic is coming from there's a ship's wheel up against the wall, still on its base and everything. And that's where the magic is coming from. And it is abjuration.
I see. Is there any type of connecting mechanisms on the wheel of base itself?
You can do an investigation check to see. So there's no connecting mechanisms that you can find, but what you do realize is when you're looking at the wheel, etched on the rim is are numbers, counting every 15. Do my math right? 15, 30. Yeah, every 15, there's a marker with a number. Every 15 little dashes, and when you go all the way around, it's 360 degrees.
So it's just degree markers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is it?
I don't know. It's a binding wheel, it seems. Abjuration magic used to hold, bind, or keep things out. But this is tied to a wheel with degree markers indicating a whole circle. If you spin the wheel, I have no idea what it does.
I mean, the owner is still in the house. We could ask him. At this point, we should probably start asking people some questions anyway.
Yes, but what authority do we have to ask these people anything? We are guests here.
Well, I'm sure they'd want this this thing solved, right? Do we need
Thorne's still
authority to ask
following us, right?
questions?
Thorne's still following us, right?
What's that?
Is
Thorne
Thorne
is
still following us?
us, right?
Yeah, he's standing outside the door, just looking over your shoulder, just kind of smirking.
Were you hearing what me and Doc were talking about?
Yes, he would hear it.
Okay, did you hear it?
Yes, I heard that you were talking about going and talking to the people.
Yes, and how we didn't have, I don't feel we had authority to ask anybody anything because we're just guests here. These people outrank us.
Mm-hmm.
Like hint, hint.
And I say,
Didn't
fuck
know.
Yeah.
authority. Refusal to speak to us is evidence that you're guilty.
So he doesn't react to that at all. Like I'm looking at him. Okay.
No, he's just watching.
Okay.
He finds this whole situation fascinating.
So maid seduced, maid convinced to do some skullduggery, maid get upset, maid kill wife.
It's just a question of who pressured her into killing. Could have been the husband she was doing things with, or could have been the sergeant and the other guy who was trying to get dirt on them. Right?
Give me an intelligence check, guys.
So you're telling us that we should have realized something. We're being dumb.
It's possible.
So
That's
Abraham,
the save, Nate.
Yes.
when you read that her diary, what was the thing
Mhm.
that they wanted that she didn't give them?
A diary? It's fun. I've read it out loud and now I know stuff from it without having to read it.
That just might be
embarrass-
something that could give you a piece of the puzzle that you guys are missing.
Something to embarrass Cormoran?
They want Cormoran's journal!
Oh yeah, Cormoran's journal.
Yeah, because remember, this is Cormoran's house. That's Cormoran's maid.
I didn't find it.
Oh, abjuration, that also protects things. Maybe this thing leads to his journal. Like a safe. Wait, you said there were 360 of these around, right?
Yeah, it's 360 degrees. It's marked out every 15 degrees on the wheel.
Does this just look like a big safe thing? Like one of those spinny things to open a safe?
It might be. You didn't see anything mechanically connected to it.
No, but magical. Why would they want his journal, though?
He's the one providing arms to all the ships.
Yeah, but that would be like business papers, not a journal, unless his journal's like Journal of Trade?
I mean, if they can blackmail him,
Sure.
who knows? Get the journal, then we'll know.
All right. Do you have any idea where we should be looking for it?
Oh, crash the place.
Okay, apparently you haven't been hearing me because I didn't have Discord selected. It's like, we're in his study. There's a good chance it's here. So I rolled an investigation to try to find it, and apparently it's not me.
Okay, I didn't hear that. So, as you look throughout the room, couple things to point out. Or does anybody else want to help with the?
Yeah, I'll help Abraham.
You're
I
gonna
wish
give him
I
that-
could.
You're going to give him the help action, or you're going to roll it yourself?
I'm gonna give him the help action.
Okay, re-roll with advantage, please, Abraham.
Could also
And
just go talk
because
to
you've been
Cormoran.
here, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nexus. I apologize.
I'm just saying we could also just go and talk to Cormoran.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you can. Just let me know if that's what you're doing. So, Abraham, also give me a history check because you've been in the city a long time. Okay, good. So on your investigation check, so you kind of go around, you kind of pull on different books. You don't really find anything that way. You don't see any like marks on the floor for a sliding out bookcase. When you go through his desk, everything's pretty benign there, nothing special. The only thing that kind of really stands out is there's a painting on the wall, and it's a painting of a young man on the bow of a ship. And he is holding up a compass, and the compass is pointing to the northwest. And with that history check, one of the things you remember is what kind of got Cormoran's name out there is he was the lone survivor on a ship that wrecked about 20 years ago as it was headed. He was going to go up to the capital city of Gilgamesh itself. And there was a shipwreck, and he was the lone survivor of it. So that painting's probably depicting that trip. It's kind of a defining moment of his life.
Northwest, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. No, I can't do that. I can't act on that.
You have a flaw of being gullible, Nexus.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, that sounds convincing. Yeah. It's gonna be Nate interrogating somebody. Oh yeah. No, I believe you. You can go.
But he just takes a lot of things at face value.
He's a trusting type.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Do you share your observations?
So that's painting. Is there anything funny about its frame or where it's attached?
No,
So nothing behind it?
no.
Just an indicator to the northwest.
Mm-hmm.
So what if I move the wheel to match that in positioning?
Okay, so what degree are you moving it to?
Okay, let's orient ourselves. So starting 0 degree at the very north,
Mm-hmm.
and we're moving to the right. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
45. And then I'm going to turn it all the way around to the opposite of that, whatever that would be. 45 minus 360. So I want to make a full rotation.
Yeah, that would be 315.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. And then I'm going to hold it at 315.
Why that?
As you
Well-
turn to 315, which would be a heading of northwest,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the magic dissipates, and the center hubcap opens on the wheel.
Holy
Locking
crap.
mechanism. I
Ins-
open up it.
Inside, you find Cormoran's journal.
Ah, here it is. Poor lady couldn't detect magic, so she didn't know where to look.
And this one I will
ammo.
read,
Aww.
but you guys can all see it. So it says, the recent rash of murders and general rise of unrest continues to drive me to push for more stays and corsairs. The issue lies in the fact that a portion of the mainsail, led by Senator Wycliffe, claim I only care about the profit I would make as my family's docks and forges are the source of the arms and ships used by our police and defense forces. This is preposterous as we make the barest amount of profit on these items, just enough to ensure we aren't losing money. There is no great fortune to be made, and yet I am cornered between my love of the city and its people that I serve and the long-term success for my family. Tonight, we will have a dinner where I will offer the sale of the docks and forges to Senator Wycliffe. This will remove all conflicts of interest and gain me the leverage to do what is needed to protect Neap and its people.
Holy crap. Gonna hand it over.
So he's a good guy to the core. So he was planning on doing that. So he wouldn't murder anyone tonight, right? That wouldn't make sense for him. Gobx looks around as she says this.
That would be very counterintuitive.
Yeah.
So that
And-
leaves...
On that reveal, let's take a quick break. I need to get something to drink.
Oh, probably a good call.
And then you can finish your thought. I'm sorry.
It's cool, I need to pee.
So, few minute break. We'll be back in 5.
Doc's going to pee. Soundscream's going to drink. These are not coinciding activities.
They are.
Maybe they are.
Oh,
I like how
I-
Talah is currently
I'm-
just sitting by the body of Mrs. Wycliffe, crisscross applesauce, and then Roscoe on her lap, and she's just playing her kalimba. Here comes the sun, do 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 do.
I'm just saying, both me and Soundscream have something to gain from that, so I'm going now. Oh, hi, Soundscream.
Okay. Here comes the sun, do 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 do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's
Sun is
alright.
coming. Looting all over us.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do 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 do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
Nice.
Little darling, the smile's returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do 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 do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
Not alright.
Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes.
Stop talking about coming. It's awkward.
Fine, I'll stop. But I kind of promised John that I would sing this time, so I did it. Done.
Beautiful.
Here. Saturday night.
Now I
Yeah,
have
those
time
things
to
fall off
actually
in
read
some-
whatever the hell is in the stream chat, because I saw some stuff popping up about Talah. Is Talah trying to set up a date? What? No. No. Someone with a fatherly voice shouts, "No, Talah, you won't, young lady." Mm-hmm. Oh! Why not between
Oh.
Nate and Mr. Shadow Strike? They seem to hit it off. You know, they went to what's the base again that he went to?
Second base.
Second
Pretty
base. There you go. Already.
Yeah, he
And only
plays
because
cricket,
Talah
though.
gave him a drink.
He's all about chasing Talah's dump truck.
I am not going to deny that.
She's not going to deny the dump truck.
No,
You're
because she has a
confirming.
big butt and I cannot lie.
She trucks dumps.
Oh yeah, Soundscream, we're probably gonna get copyright strike again.
How's that?
Reasons.
She was
Did we-
straight singing the Beatles.
Yeah.
Did we actually get copyright struck?
I don't know. Did we?
Here comes the son and the daughter.
I mean, look, I don't think we did last time.
Oh, then we should be fine, right? Because
Yeah.
John sang Firework last time, so we kind of said that I would sing this time, so I sang the thing that Talah's playing on her kalimba next to the dead body of Mrs. Whitecliff.
And next time it's Cyntari's turn.
Yep. And then after that, it's Doc's turn. Then after
Yeah,
that,
'cause
it's
if
your
it-
turn. And then it's Nexus again.
If it got hit, I would have had to do something for it to get through.
Bop.
Yeah, we've gotten no restrictions. We're good.
Woo.
Nice.
So now, part of that is because nobody watches our YouTube channel. Hint, hint. Looking at people in chat who haven't followed us on
Well,
YouTube.
what about linking it?
You know, that would be the smart thing to do, which is probably why I didn't do it.
I'll do it. I think. If I can find the bloody
I
channel.
actually don't have your YouTube channel open at the moment. What the heck?
Oh, they're making a new they've made a new Starship Troopers first-person shooter game.
Yes.
Mhm.
Wait, it's called Dinosaur Party. It's not called Soundscream. Aha.
Well, you can get there by doing @Soundscream6802.
And Helldiver 2 is coming out.
Oh yeah, but that's on Starship Troopers.
Yeah, but it's pretty close.
Yep. But yeah, for anybody who is in chat, if you sub and like and all that stuff, that would be appreciated. We have started to get some traction on a couple of our things. So it's funny. Fortune and Glory gets more traction than the City of Gilgamesh. So I'm going to retire this campaign, and we're just going to ride Cyntari's coattails to our fortunes.
And glories.
And glories.
There's a whole
Yeah.
lot of glory with
We
it.
are just gonna fit
oh,
it.
I get it. No. If that does happen, when we start our OnlyFans, it could be Fortune and Glory holes.
Mhm.
Yes. I was just about to say, we're gonna exploit that glory hole.
Oof.
Mm.
Excellent. Do we have everybody?
And
I
it
don't
won't cost a
know.
fortune.
Have a dirty Franklin.
For the glory hole.
A fortune for the glory hole.
Join now and get us for free.
Holes for the whole god.
I do.
Some of us have two.
I do not pray to Slanesh.
We all have to, just ours isn't as big as
Fortune.
yours.
Fortunate
Hey,
glory holes is a
That can be
different
taken
animal.
a lot of ways, and I apologize, Nari.
Don't.
Don't apologize for that. That was funny.
Let's see.
Mine doesn't echo
hi,
when you
Mom.
yell into it.
What are we talking about?
Vaginas.
Goddamn stamp mix up.
Mine sounds like a stereo phaser in an echo chamber.
Mine sounds
No,
like meat
I
grind.
am not gonna grab it. I am not gonna grab it.
What
If
in
you
the
want to do that, Nexus, that's you. All right, is everybody here? Are we ready to get back into it?
I do just have a question just for the group. It is game related though.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pretty sure at this point from what we just. No, actually, no. Let's take this in game. That's better.
Okay.
All right. So you guys have found the journal.
They have.
And what would you like to do?
So,
God damn it, Nexus.
so Cormorant would not have a reason to do this. That just leaves Whitecliff and Captain Bitch Boy. But here's what I don't get. How? I mean, yeah, they pressured this woman into stabbing Whitecliff's wife, right? And he didn't seem to care for her, so he likely just saw her as a tool. So, how did they get that woman strangled and hanged so fast? Like, who did that?
I don't know. Can you see how big the person's hands were
Was it a
on the
big
strangle
freaking guy?
marks?
A huge friggin' guy.
I think that's something you can do, right?
You actually noticed a faint smell, just smelled like sewage in that room. You found this white scale just lying there on the ground.
No,
Oh.
no.
No. Blanco is firmly dead.
Thank the gods.
Poor
Oh, no.
Blanco.
His son Whitey's coming for you, though.
He's named Whitey. How lame.
Yeah. Whitey tighty.
Please tell me he's black.
Nexus.
What?
The blackest motherfucker sound scream ever had to roleplay.
It wouldn't be the first time. It was a Boardwalk Empire. There was a guy named Whitey. He was a black guy.
And his brother, Cracker.
Jeez. Anyways,
Okay, yeah.
I barely has a grasp of what's going on, except that people are constantly dying, and we can't seem to do anything about it.
I have something that popped into my head, but I'm not there. Ba-da-dum.
if you want to say you guys have gone downstairs and are talking around Talah so that she can have this information and give
Yeah.
interjections, that's fair.
Yes,
So
let's.
I'll say after you found the thing and read it, you went downstairs and you've been talking. Everybody's caught up on everything.
And just
Beautiful.
standing with Cormorant's journal
Mhm.
in front of everyone.
Just
So-
casually.
We're just standing there walking in.
So,
We got Renee's journal and we got his journal.
yeah,
Just
when
reading
when
it.
you walked in, I instantly stopped playing music.
No.
Yes. So the thing that popped into my head was that before the dinner and all that, the captain and Mrs. Whitecliff left the room and then returned after Charlotte did. So something might have happened there with maybe the captain and Charlotte, because Whitecliff, I don't know where she was, where she might have confronted Charlotte and then the captain butting in or something, but I don't know, I just noticed it.
Maybe. Worth keeping in mind.
Mm-hmm. Have you spoken to anyone yet?
Not yet, now.
Only Mr. Shadowstrike here.
Actually, I'm gonna go back and take a look
Right.
at that maid. I have a thought.
Go for it.
Be careful, thoughts are bad.
Is someone coming? I thought we were doing the buddy system.
I'll
I
come
mean, you
along.
guys left me here on my own for a while.
No, you
What
had
buddy
Roscoe.
system?
You have Roscoe and the buddy on the floor.
We don't count
Right.
the
The
body as
body
the body.
system.
Buddy system.
Anyways,
Bingo.
No,
I'll-
body buddies.
I'll go with Gobs.
Uh,
So,
Horngold steps out and goes, "Well, what have you?" Or he comes. He's like 3 steps behind you guys because he was still. You guys had left the room by the time he got upstairs with the body, and then he came your direction.
hmm.
To the study. So he's at the top of the stairs.
As we're walking up.
Yeah, we haven't
after
heard you
again.
say anything in a bit, Sin. So as you guys are starting to walk, he goes, "Wait, what did you find? What did you see?"
We're following up on leads. No time to waste.
All right, Sin, we can hear you.
We found some reading material. It might be interesting later.
Okay.
Just casually seeing him stand there with his journal in hand.
Well, no,
Charlotte
this was
Journal.
this was Horngold, not Cormoran. Cormoran's
Oh,
still
yeah.
in the other
right,
room.
Different person.
Horngold is the bird. Cormoran is a human dude whose house you're in.
Right.
I'm still bad with names. It's why I gave Milla that trade. I'm bad with names.
It's throwing me off because you say cormorant. I keep hearing cormorant, and I'm thinking he's the bird guy.
Same.
Cormoran.
Yeah, no T. I gotcha.
Here, since you guys have found out some of the
moron.
stuff, I'll do it this way. Oh no, you haven't. You haven't gotten that part yet. Give me a second. Boop, boop, boom, boom. Take that out, cause there's still stuff you don't know.
It's a list of loose.
Like that.
And red herrings, probably.
And
There you
maybe
go.
its social security number. Just maybe.
There. Does that help?
Yes.
Mrs. Wycliffe is nothing. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
It.
Does it say murderer in any of these?
No.
As he slows down to reread it. This one totally did it. Nope, you left it in here, Soundscreen.
I did leave it in there.
Oh my god, it was the captain all along.
All right, so who's doing what? I know Milla and Othokent are going back to the maid's body.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Are the rest of you guys just hanging out there and talking?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
We were singing
So
together.
that's up
I
to you.
want to talk.
We stay with at least another person.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right,
Tell
so
us-
Othokent and Gobs, what are you doing at the body?
So, she got strangled, right?
Yes.
Strangling doesn't go fast.
No, it takes a while.
And she's a woman. She'd, like, try to scratch the fuck out of whoever was doing it, right? So, blood under the nails?
Well, it's worth taking a look.
Or skin, hair, just anything?
You can take a good old look-see. Not the fingernails.
prestidigitation, it's all gone.
Medicine check.
Yes.
You don't see anything under her nails, but as you look, you can tell that the right arm is actually broken, as if it had been twisted really hard. So, potentially, she was grabbed, arm was twisted forcefully behind her, and then strangled. So she didn't have an opportunity to really defend herself.
Wait,
That mean-
strangled
means-
with one hand. That's a giant ass fucking hand.
Well, I don't think she was strangled with one hand. I've got to take a close look at the marks on her neck. It seems like there's been two hands, correct?
Nope. It looks like so. There's one definite bruise on the left side of her neck, and 4 bruises on the right side of her neck, as if she was grabbed one-handed. So she was. It does appear that she was strangled one-handed.
So it had to be someone quite big to be able to properly do that.
I mean, she's a small half-elf girl.
True, but your hand still shouldn't reach that far around one-handed.
It's becoming obvious to me that Doc has never strangled anybody.
No, I
With
have
enough
not.
pressure, you can do it with one hand.
It still has to be someone that is stronger than her.
So I'm reaching around my own neck, and my fingers only go like halfway.
They don't need to go any farther.
Yeah. All you really have to do is pinch one of the arteries,
True, but
if you know what you're doing.
I don't.
Again, the FBI, I'm expecting it now between my Google searches, and if they hear me say, no, you could easily kill somebody one-handed. Yeah, and just have to pinch in the right spot.
Now,
there's certain spots between.
now all they need is you admitting you know how to hide a body.
Do you want to hide a body?
Just make sure you don't have any rope or shovels in your car at any time.
Well, you can just get rid of the body with chemicals,
Make it do the smoothie.
All right, so let's move on to the actual D&D game before I go to prison, please.
Pig farms?
Yes.
Shut up,
FBI, open
Cyntari.
up!
So, still, her one arm's broken. She's been strangled. That means someone had enough force to snap her arm, which is not exactly an easy feat, even if she is kind of dangerous.
Would the police officer have that kind of strength?
I am unsure, to be completely honest. From what it seems, he's the lazy, gluttonous, waste of space type more than anything else.
Yeah, did he look like he was strong enough to do that?
You can give me an insight check.
Would that be insight?
Yeah.
You're trying to gauge.
What would you think?
Medicine, nature, perception?
I'll give you medicine or insight, or I don't think perception would work.
I mean, just
Medicine-
to look
medicine
at
or
visible
insight?
muscles? Insight doesn't make sense to me at all because that's
You're trying to
reading a
gauge whether he can do something or not, so that would be insight.
person. Like,
No. Just do the same thing that he did. Do sleight of
Fine.
hand.
Yeah, go for it. Medicine, I'll let you do medicine or nature. Survival, I'd let you do survival. Any one of those 3. How's that?
they make more sense to me, yeah. And it's gonna be medicine then.
The White Cliffs were halflings?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, halfling
Nope.
is what the White Cliffs were.
With you being on the streets, though, I would also let you do a history check.
Even worse. Just worse bones.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, with the fact that, this isn't like our modern day police, right? They don't have guns and stuff like that. So even if he's out of shape, he still, at least at some point, would have been a beat cop, would have been physical, because they just have, swords, crossbows, that kind of stuff. Because they don't generally carry guns, right? They're very uncommon. So there would have to be strength plus technique plus. You could tell just from the way he carries himself. There's a bit of viciousness in the dude, right? Yeah, he's a glutton and all of that kind of stuff, and he does have a gut, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not physically capable of doing these things. You know he's probably more than willing to do them if he is capable.
And from what I remember, when this investigation started, he beelined for the kitchen, and we found this woman in the area behind the kitchen, right?
That is correct.
I'm gonna go to the fucking kitchen, see if there's any kitchen staff around.
All the kitchen staff is in the dining room now. They're all basically sitting on the floor with their backs against the walls, as Horngold instructed them to do.
All right. In that case, I think we have what we need here, because at that point we need to take it there to start asking people questions.
All right.
Could I check the room that Thorne came out of? I think we've done that yet.
The room he came out of is the drawing room, which is where Wycliffe and Cormoran are currently at. So that's that first room you guys stepped into that everybody was just kind of socializing and drinking, getting drinks from the bar that was in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you can go and check that room if you'd like.
I would like to.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check. So as you're in there, tell me a little bit about what you're actually looking for.
So anything that's been someone has tried to hide something, push the stuff over, like ruffle through things, and try to cover something up.
So you don't really see anything like that. Nothing stands out of the ordinary. When you come in, Cormoran is just trying to comfort, Wycliffe, even though Wycliffe, from everything you know he doesn't like him, but the dude's wife just got killed, so he's still,
Yeah.
I know a guy who can do this. We, reach out. I know some good woodsmiths. We'll make sure we get her, because it's traditional to do burial at sea. It's like we'll make sure to, I know some good clothiers down in the mainmast who make excellent and tasteful things. We'll get this all taken care of.
Oh yeah, my dad's a lumberjack and my mom's a carpenter. They can help. Got some good wood.
I appreciate that, young man. As you're nosing around and everything, though, you do notice something. One of the candelabras, right at the base of it, you notice some wear marks, as if it can rotate.
Julian.
Do it.
And spin to win.
When you do it, the section of wall immediately to its left opens up as a door. And Cormoran goes, "What are you? What? Why is there a hole in my wall?"
Well, we better find out. This is an investigation. And he rushes in.
So it's a set of stairs that go straight down. And then it's a tunnel that you can stand up perfectly fine in. And it's a tunnel that goes about 25 feet.
Wait, how far away were the others? Like Talah?
Talah's still in the hallway.
She's still out in the main foyer. By the bottom.
Then, before going down, Nate would just do a whistle that Talah would know that there's something of interest.
Okay, you hear the whistle. Talah.
Mm-hmm. Want me to come with?
Well, he's already off.
I guess not.
Poor Talah's just sitting out there going, "This is boring."
Yeah, she is.
I imagine
And
Sully
back to
just
playing
jump at it.
Kalimba.
Yeah,
No one leaves alone except
Yeah.
for Nate.
Yeah.
So Nate, as you get to the end of this, it hits a wall, a hard wall, but then you realize you're actually in between the walls, and there's a little ladder where you can climb up, and you can hear from that spot. You can actually hear everything in the foyer. Like you can hear her playing her music. You can hear into the dining room real easily and into the kitchen.
Huh.
Perception check
Uh,
for me.
Oh, stop rolling bad.
It wouldn't have mattered if you rolled a nat 20 on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you found the little hidey hole that I found. As Talon is literally whispering that almost into your ear.
Well, yeah. Ah. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hi.
Yes.
This is a nice little hidey hole. Gentleman who used to live here would hide things he didn't want certain other individuals to find in here, and I remembered it, and after everybody had left the room, I slipped in here. Where do you think I got the brandy from?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes, because Cormoran doesn't like brandy. It's one of the things I hate about him. But I remembered that Jonathan left a cask in here, and he points over, and you see a little old, like you're kind of worried about his health because the wood has started to turn. Cask of brandy in a barrel. He fills it up and goes, interesting. The fun thing is you can hear so many things from right there. Interesting, isn't it? And he smiles and he begins to walk back the other way.
So he was behind me all of a sudden.
Yeah, he walked down behind you to get more brandy.
Okay. But I did ask Jonathan. Jonathan who?
Peterson.
It's Jonathan Forstaff. He was a captain about 112 years ago, if I remember correctly. It's when he passed away. Good man. Should have
I
paid.
see. Interesting. Well, that is interesting knowledge, and you just knew that this was here.
Well, yes, who do you think brought in his illicit goods? Come on now.
Wait, but aren't you a pretty young man?
Who knows? We all have our secrets. Just like the poor, unfortunate Mrs. Wycliffe. Only she could have held her temper.
Temper?
You could hear all kinds of things from right there.
So you heard what went on? Why she when she got stabbed?
No, I heard the conversation before that.
Oh,
I overheard it when I was getting the brandy, and then I started drinking brandy. So I didn't pay much attention beyond that. But if I were you and your friends, it might not be a bad idea to talk to Mr. Burge.
sure. Pray tell. Can
But
you tell me what?
so that I can hold myself at some type of objectivity, I must recuse myself from this investigation any further.
I mean,
Taint the.
okay,
You don't
sir.
want to taint the judge.
No,
God, I
no,
wish
no,
somebody
no.
would. And then he walks up the stairs
Oh,
and
oof,
back into.
wow. Sure, there are
What were you trying
plenty
to
who
say,
will.
Nexus?
So flustered, Nate is just gonna uh, like check if this goes on further than this.
It doesn't. It ends at that wall. So this was basically a hidey hole.
Yeah,
But it
it's just
also
for
it ran deep enough in that it was underneath where the gap in the walls would be, and because of the gap of the walls, you could actually hear everything in those 3 rooms if you were standing there.
yeah.
So he was basically saying he knew it was there because he used to smuggle for the guy who used to own the house, and this is where he would hide his stuff. So he knew that the brandy was there. So when nobody was looking, he went in and got himself a glass of brandy. And when he was in there,
Yeah.
he overheard a conversation between Mrs. Wycliffe and Burge.
And he quickly slipped away when I asked to know what about
Right, because
what was said.
keep in mind, he is one of the judges. So if this does end up
Yeah.
being criminal proceedings, he can't be too involved.
Yeah. Well, then Nate is gonna back out again and return to Talah.
Well, hi there.
So I thought you'd come along. I thought you'd be intrigued.
I asked you if you wanted me to come with, and you didn't answer.
I didn't hear that. I was already heading down.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm sorry.
But I was told by Otho to sit here, and then Horngold also told me to make sure no one would touch anything on the body and such. So, you know, I'm kind of
shouldn't
doing
the
that.
police try and find someone official to look over the bodies instead of you?
Well, I was
That
told
seems
I have
kinda rude.
potential as a policeman.
Well, I'm very sure you have.
It's police person.
Oh,
Fuck off.
Police thing, sir.
Who said that?
The voice in the sky.
So apparently there's a hidden room where Thorne heard everything that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It goes underneath these walls. You can hear pretty much everything.
Okay.
We could engineer to have our suspects in one of these rooms, and we could listen in on them as they talk about things. Maybe they don't even know about it.
Maybe. But he does suggest that we try and question Burge, or at least talk to Burge.
I mean, I think that Burge is a bit meh, and then there's... I don't know if... Well, I'm pretty sure you noticed too how Wycliffe reacted, and that was kind of just acting. Most of it, at least.
I mean, can you really blame the old man? His wife seemed to be very promiscuous.
Yeah, but then again, what we've read in the journal, or what you told me that you read in the journal, he was also sleeping with someone to pressure them. So he is not innocent in all this, and he does not get to have that whole sad act and people believing it.
Of course. That was not what I was trying to say. I'm sorry. But yeah, so if we can try and get something out of Burge, either by questioning him or I don't know if we can exploit the room downstairs, the hidden room, to overhear him speaking, saying something he shouldn't have.
Also, Burge would have been in that room when you discovered the door.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, I should have made that more clear. So, because it's Burge, Burge is back in there now. When he came back,
Yeah, okay.
He came back from wherever he was. He's been in there.
So
with,
Burge,
Wycliffe,
Wycliffe, Cormoran, and Burge are all in the
drawing room. Yeah.
Drawing room.
Okay. Okay. Well, even if he knows that the room exists, he doesn't necessarily know what it entails.
Well, and now Talon's in there too.
Right, but they don't know the properties of the room, letting us listen in on everything. Just they know that it exists is one thing.
I've
So we
closed
can-
it behind me. Anyways, so I'm. Do you want to go and talk to the others, and I'll keep a watch on the body, or?
I mean, if you want me to talk to Burge and Cormoran and Wycliffe, I'm gonna go for the direct approach.
I'm
I
assuming at this
meant
point
that-
the others are kind of coming back in as you guys are having this conversation.
I kind of
So they
meant
basically
talking
heard Talah
to
say-
Otho and hi.
So Pip is asking me if I want to go talk to people, and like I just stated, I will go for the direct approach if someone lets me.
I meant talk to Otho and Abraham Grissom and
Oh, well,
Milla
Hello.
guess
I'm
I'll
Milla.
about
stay
this
seated.
information.
What information?
Okay, hush.
There's a secret room.
Yeah,
with
there's a
stuff.
secret room where Thorne, Mr. Shadowstrike, kind of heard everything going on when Miss Wycliffe was about to be stabbed.
Well, Shadowstrike at least, because he came from the drawing room to the crime scene.
He was in the hidden space underneath here. We heard a kerfuffle before he was attacked. Apparently,
So,
she was upset.
so someone that has hurt the most probably has some good information, won't give it to you because then he would get too much involved with this whole investigation and he won't be able to judge the whole thing anymore.
Pretty much. I'm not entirely sure how these things work.
I don't know
But-
either, but it seems to me that he should just tell whatever the hell he knows and then we get another judge to do the judging.
I don't think we're gonna convince him.
Probably not, but he seems to
So-
have most information, so he should actually try and help solve this instead of just hanging around.
In any case, you guys want to try and get an angle on Burge? I'm not sure how to approach him.
I know.
I mean, I can annoy the ever living crap out of him.
Oh, I want to join that so bad.
Oh,
But no, I do want to go over a few things before we go talk to them. So,
Otho and Mr. Grissom, can you please lead this? I don't quite trust Milla and Talah with this.
what did I do?
And what did I do? I've just been sitting here.
Nothing yet, and that's why I'm afraid.
Bum, bum, bum. You hear a knock on the door behind you guys because you're in the front lobby.
Come in.
No!
Door.
Yeah, Horn goes, no one comes in or out. I'll answer it. And he opens the door, and you can see it's a bunch of officers outside, and the one who is knocking is a young dwarf that you guys are familiar with. Gareth Silverblade is standing at the door.
That's quick.
It's probably been about 20, 30 minutes. And a death in the senator and being called in by the admiral. So he goes, Admiral, we came as quick as we could. We've got everything secured outside. Do you need any help in here? Yes, come in. Take statements and work with these people. I'm keeping an eye on everybody else. So if you could start taking statements from these folks who have been kind enough, they're very good. I've been looking at everything. They pointed out some very key evidence. Take their statements, then go and talk to the staff. I'd appreciate it. He says, all right, Captain, I'll take care of it. And the Admiral, I'll take care of it. And the Admiral steps back into the drawing room, and he walks over and goes, all right.
How's your ankle doing?
My ankle's fine. What ankle? What are you talking about? Oh, my ankle. It hurts so bad, but I'll be all right. Why are people dead?
Some they died.
Someone got
Someone killed
murdered, and
them.
then another person
So-
got murdered, and this is a whole shit
The
show.
knife was involved. That's how. It
Dear
happened.
Lord, you guys are terrible at explaining. So, what happened is that Mrs. Whitecliffe was stabbed in the chest with a steak knife, and she bled out in the hallway after feeling nauseous. We then tried to track down who had done such a thing and why they had done it, and that led us to Charlotte the maid, who has been strangulated and had her arm broken by someone.
She would also have had access to the food, so she could have put stuff in it that made her queasy.
And then somebody strung her up, and she was hanging.
The food part is whether she is actually the one responsible for that is conjecture, but she was strung up and quote unquote hung.
Yeah, we sort of saw hand marks, so it's like she was strangled and then made to look like she'd committed suicide.
All right, so the maid killed the wife,
Yes.
Mhm.
But
and
she was
somebody.
pressured to do so.
All right, and somebody killed the maid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you find my informant?
Yeah, we did. That would be the maid.
Oi. Now, that means somebody made her.
Yeah, her diary said she wanted to contact the captain
No,
to
Sergeant.
sergeant to make a statement.
That would be me. Well,
Well, unless she contacted directly and got someone other than you, someone above you.
well, I might be seeing one of the girls in the other room, and she said one of her friends needed some help.
That matches.
Something else interesting. I figured it was time to play my hand, and I may have broken into Burge's office. He's been shorting bounties for about 3 years now.
Oh yes, we're very well aware.
Right, but the interesting part is what he's doing with the money. Half of it's going into his account, but then the other half of it has been being spread around to different organizations, encouraging them to step up their game. He's been feeding the gangs and the lowlifes. That whole thing with the cult, yeah, that guy, all that expensive stuff he had, yeah, Burke funded all of it, but I don't know why.
Well, it
Why
seems
would he
like
want more crime?
Well, because they were trying to frame someone.
Frame him for what?
So when we were sort of doing our investigation on the cult thing, and at this point, I think we can just let them know what we found on that location. If you all remember the little thing.
you could remind us.
The moment I say it, he will know. We found the gold pin on one of the masts at the location of a cold rally.
Do you know who the pin belongs to?
Well, we did see a member of the mast not long after without their pin, and they're kind of one of a kind, right?
Aye.
Yeah, that would be Cormand, I believe. It was Cormand, right? We saw
So
him on the elevator.
Cormoran.
It was Cormoran.
That was
So,
Cormand.
so you're saying Cormoran was at the cult things?
Well, that's what it's made out to look like. However, the maid's diary specifically states that the one she was seeing wanted her to hand over that gold pin.
Okay, so the maid stole the pen, and they were using that to draw a line to Cormoran. But why?
Well, they seem to. Give me a moment. So, from what I can tell here, and I'm just gonna go look at both of them. From what I can tell here, the maid was sort of seeing Cormorant.
No.
No, is that not it?
No,
No, she was seeing Lord Whitecliff.
correct.
And Lord Whitecliff was asking a lot of questions about Cormoran, how to humiliate him. He wanted his hands on Cormoran's journal, everything. Seems like he was trying to make Cormorant. And they believe that Cormorant is doing a lot of this for personal gain. Like they're not trying to actually help the city. He's trying to funnel funds to his own factory.
Yeah, Cormoran's always trying to push for more weapons and officers and things like that. Especially as everything got nastier and nastier, he pushed harder and harder.
Yeah. So, given everything that's happened with all this, they're trying to point fingers towards him. And I imagine that, and I'm going to say something you're not going to like here. Well, you already kind of know that Captain Berg's dirty at this point, so let's just keep going. If I'm reading this situation correct, when we heard, no, that wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, Captain Burge, I believe, was the one who did in the maid. Because right as this investigation started, he more or less went direct for the kitchen, which is right by the sort of staff area there, where he found the maid hung. And if she killed her, she would have had less than 20 minutes to go back there and hang herself. But, like I said, we saw her strangled. Now, you've known Burge a lot longer than us. Could he snap someone's arm, like break it, and choke someone to death one-handed?
He's a stout little fella. He doesn't look like it, but there's strength in them hands. From, he spent several years out on the streets. But
Yeah, and
they planted. Let's back up. So they planted the symbol, which, if it was found, would have traced back to Cormoran.
Yeah, that's correct. And of
Were
course,
they trying to tie him to all of that to make it look like he was causing all of the mischief going on?
and I imagine so, to basically wipe him off the map.
Yeah,
Well,
if he'd been disgraced, he would have been thrown out.
Sorry.
And then that probably would have cost his family the docks too. Who would have gained from that?
Otho, please speak up.
I was about to say, if he is the one who was pointed at increasing the mischief, it would very much point to him wanting to earn more from all of these ordeals. However, his own journal leverages that he wants to sell the docks and the forges just to remove himself from the conflict and to try and assist.
Indeed, his own journal says so, that he was planning on selling the docks to Senator Whitecliff on this very night, meaning he has no motive at all for doing any of this. Why would he have
was Birch doing this all on his own?
No, he's working on the Whitecliff.
Yeah, it says in the in Charlotte's journal that she was seeing Whitecliff at first, but suddenly he started sending Captain Burge instead. So apparently Captain Burge's been acting on his behalf.
He's a two-bit enforcer, is what he is.
So they've been leveraging all of this to make him look bad, to push him into this point, so that they could get the docks. That's what this was all about. It was about the docks the whole time.
Yeah, and Whitecliff was planning on selling them the docks. These guys are literally idiots. If they'd done nothing, they would have had them now.
But why did the maid kill the wife?
From the looks of it, she was kind of dating Whitecliff, Lord Whitecliff, so, competition.
Yeah.
And she was pressured by either Burge or Whitecliff.
At this moment, all of you notice something that you don't notice.
The body's missing.
Yes.
No, Talah's missing. Talah, you are in the other room. You have a few minutes before they notice that you've gone missing. What would you like to do?
So I'm just gonna walk up to Whitecliff and Burge and Cormoran. Just go, so, pressuring a young half-elven lady into doing whatever the fuck you want, huh? What's that all about, Burge? Whitecliff?
What are you talking about? Look, as I told Horngold, this is Birch, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this all figured out. All right.
Do you now?
Yeah. So before we came, Mrs. Wycliffe found out that Mr. Wycliffe was banging the maid. It's like, do you have to be so coarse about it? Whatever, it doesn't matter. All right. So she was upset about it, and she hid the fact that she was upset about it till we got here. I took her aside, told her now's not the time and place to say anything and cause a big mess, because, it's a fancy place. We could deal with it later, right? Because I've been friends with all of them for a long time. Me and her went to high school together, after all. So, this has all come out. She was given the bad eye to the maid. Maid doesn't want to share Wycliffe because he may be a halfling in height, but he's a giant in other places, from my understanding.
Sure.
And so the maid got angry, got in an argument with the missus out in the hallway, stabbed her, and then freaked out, ran back to her room, and out of guilt hung herself. It's pretty simple.
Sure.
Right? So
Very
why don't
simple.
so the Horngold's going to wrap this up. We'll get our statements and then we'll leave. And we don't need your help. Thank you, though. Whoever the hell you are.
So we saw Charlotte's diary.
What diary? She didn't write a diary.
Oh yeah, she did actually.
If she had written a
We have
diary,
the
I would have found it.
Inquisition.
I mean, somebody would have found it.
Yeah, we did. It's
There's no-
quite intriguing. You're mentioning it too.
It's obviously a fabrication. You probably were sent here to. You know what? Maybe you are the one who pushed her into all of this.
Sure, maybe. Or maybe it's you.
All of you can start to hear these voices starting to raise from the other room at this point.
I
And Horngold starts to walk through. What is going on in there?
We should go intrude, I think,
Yeah,
immediately.
before it gets bloody. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of you start coming in you see Talah, hands on hips, talking to Borngold or to Borge.
Horngold.
Yeah. You guys are getting me confused.
Have a little bit of our pain.
Hey, Burge, how did Charlotte kill herself again?
Was it by breaking her arm?
Or
She'd do that first
self-strangulation?
before climbing herself up there.
Now, hold on. These are terrible accusations. What evidence? What is going on?
So, would you mind actually trying to place your hand upon the bruises of the now dead maid to see if the size fits? It's kind of a Cinderella story, really.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
I'm gonna back it up with a put the hand on the fucking neck.
Persuasion.
With advantage.
Oh boy. Oh, with advantage. I'll just click it again. 18.
You said you found the girl's journal.
Mm-hmm.
Should we do a little reading? I think we should.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
I'll tell you everything I know for immunity.
Depending on the
You hear-
story.
and Wycliffe goes, "You rat bastard! How I made you!" And he starts clawing. I was like, no. That's why I documented everything. I've got a nice little journal of my own in my office. I have every payment we made. I have everything detailed, and I have it encoded. And that's where the sergeant speaks up and goes, I already found it and decoded it. You just swapped the first and last letter around. It wasn't hard.
Oh wow, you are so good.
So I don't
And you
believe
called me a
there'll
dumb
be-
lizard?
Who
I
has a
don't
lizard
believe-
brain now?
I don't believe there'll be any immunity for you. The only question is, why did the girl what did you say to make the girl kill the wife? I didn't. We didn't tell her to do that. We had nothing to do with that. I mean, I'm glad it happened. I always hated Mrs. Wycliffe. So did he. That's why he was out screwing anything that walks. But she got so angry, despite the fact that she's been screwing 3 of my deputies.
Huh.
Like, what's it matter to her? She doesn't keep her legs closed. Why should she care if he runs around? But she said she was going to kill the maid tonight. That's why I got in an argument with her. And Talon goes, that's actually true, as a side note. And he's sipping on his brandy. You know, the wife actually confronted the maid and yelled some very nasty things at her. And the maid said it wasn't like that and that she was done with them. And then the wife charged at her and she just happened to have the knife in her hand when she defended herself. And then she freaked out and ran upstairs. He takes another drink. He goes, oh, by the way, I was standing at the doorway when it happened. You guys just never asked. I saw the
Those
whole
was
thing.
self-defense.
There's
Oh, yes. She didn't want to kill the wife. She just attacked her and had a knife in her hand and everything.
there's still one thing that's kind of weird. Thorne Shadowstrike's still in the room, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why did she have exactly your steak knife?
Because she was setting the table.
Ah.
And that's when the missus got sick. So she went to the restroom, and Charlotte, being the good host that she was seemed like she was going to go check on her. She had the knife in her hand and a napkin. She just had them because she was setting the table. And since I wasn't there, my plate was the last one to be set because I was over here stealing brandy.
Well, guys, this is what the direct approach gives you. As Talah just gives a slight bow to the others.
Well, also,
Talah, you were
backfired.
lucky.
So
Yes, but if we didn't have the journal, we wouldn't be able to do this. That was the key.
So the
part.
little goat-legged man, he killed the girl?
Yes.
Quite the grip on that little bastard.
Testing.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
we
sorry.
heard
Go
you
ahead,
said-
Sin. I didn't mean to talk over. Well, I meant to, but I'm sorry.
No matter. I was just talking to Talah, saying like and the journal didn't make a difference in your whole direct approach. Having that.
Oh
didn't
yeah,
help?
it did, but then I kind of told you guys I wanted to go for the direct approach, but it was kind of ignored, and then I did it anyway.
Well, we had to tell the sergeant of what happened.
And if we didn't have evidence when we did that, well, that would have ruined everything.
And Coberin just kind of sits down and goes, so, Catherine was sleeping with Senator Wycliffe,
Yes.
and you said in the journal she'd been giving him information?
Well,
Yeah.
items too.
Items and information. And
And-
he also wanted his journal.
And they'd been funding all the different groups that have been increasing the crime around the city.
Yeah, he took our bounty to fund more bad guys. That feels
Yeah, you
great.
still owe us 11,000, motherfucker.
Sorry, spent it. Ha! So, all of this, the people, the crimes, the people victimized, the murders of the cult.
They were trying to push you out of the council so they could take over. And given that we also found your journal and read that, ironic.
All of this was a play. This was all a play for the forges in the docks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. They wanted to make you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just money.
And
He stands up and goes, "You little son of a bitch! Money is what this was all about."
I just say a thing to rub it in? He was planning on selling you that tonight! You dumb motherfucker!
And Cormoran literally leaps on him and starts beating the crap out of him. And Silverblade and Horngold do have to grab him and pull him back. He goes, "You better pray. You better pray they put you in jail where I can't get you. I'll make sure you suffer for this." All right. Let's let justice be done properly. Captain
fine.
Silverblade, if you would, take these two into custody. Let's get everybody in. Let's document everything. And let's get this all set up for trial. I have a feeling these two are going to have a very, very bad end of their evening.
Cyntari,
Is there
No, I'm
anything
just
else?
saying in general, like my contribution to this whole thing.
Is there anything else that anybody else would like to do at this point as they are being handcuffed and everything's being kind of packaged up?
Yeah, I do have one thing I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Eat dessert.
I want to punch Captain Burge in the dick.
You
Do it.
successfully do so.
with the black arm? That
Yes,
stuff?
just full
Does
on.
it bite his dick off?
It does not. It does not. Milla is in
Oh.
control of the arm right now. That's what the roll at the beginning of the session was for.
After
Aw.
Milla has done that, Talah's gonna give her a high five
Just
because
full on
That's
reinforced
fucked up.
arm. I don't care if I go to jail too. Like,
All
really.
right. That's enough. He'll get plenty more than that in prison. I'll make sure of it. I know exactly where we're gonna put you in the brig.
Oh, it looked like he was about to try and break out, so it makes sense.
Oh yeah,
So-
I saw. He was trying to kick the chair and use that to break his cuffs.
of course he was.
I would have stopped him, but my poor ankle. Oh, it hurts so bad.
Indeed.
Yeah, you should probably take the rest of the week off though. That
Oh,
needs
too-
rest.
Nah, there's paperwork that needs to be done right. I
Yeah.
appreciate you all.
But if possible, I'd like to approach Cormorant.
Yeah, he's now sitting there. He's like, "Can you get me, Thorne? Would you be kind enough to get me some of that brandy?" and Thorne just goes, "Of course." And he reaches over his shoulder and flips the little lever, and walks backwards down the stairs and goes and he just brings the whole cask up. He goes, "This is quite old. It's quite fantastic." And pours him something. And so he's just sitting there in kind of ottoman, now with a glass of brandy. So
So
yes, you can approach him.
yes, I'm going to. So a lot has happened during these last few hours, and it seems the last couple of months.
Her has.
And I will say that the entire evening's events and all of the personalities on display has quite disturbed me. But from what I've understood from what's been read in your journal and everything, and apologies for breaking your privacy on that, you do seem like a genuinely good man. And please do not take that as offense.
I just hate that I didn't see what was happening to Charlotte. She deserved better than that.
I agree.
I suppose I'll stop pushing for funding. We need to let things settle out and see if there is an actual need for it. Or if it was just all caused by this stupid play to get my family's docs. I realize there's only so many of them to go around, but being that the man ran shipping for 20 years, he has a fortune. What would more money get him that it doesn't give him already?
For some
What's he
people,
gonna do?
it's
Buy a bigger golden bathtub? I don't.
for some people it's never enough. It's just the way to get more and more and more control. Why have some of the control when you can have all of it?
You know, when I was a young man, I took a ship out, thinking to go to the capital city and buy a whole bunch of goods and then bring them back and sell them at higher prices here where they're rare and make a name for myself and a fortune. And we ran into a whale, big whale. It's ridiculous, and it sheared the keel of the hull, and we went down in minutes. And I was able to grab a hold of a life raft and I drifted in the ocean for 12 days. It was a merchant fishing vessel that found me and picked me up and brought me home. It wasn't the Corsairs, it wasn't some great search party or anything like that. It was a common, everyday person who had little more to their name than a beaten up little boat that they would go out and spend a hard day's work catching enough fish to come back to Neap and sell, to put his kids in school, to feed his family, and that's it. That's who saved me. That's why I do what I do. I'm not involved really in the running of our docks or our forges or anything like that. If it wasn't for the common people, I'd be gone. I owe them. So I'm not a good person, Doctor. I'm just paying my debt.
Still, I can at least appreciate that after all of this, you're still trying to do something well, something good, trying to help. Not everyone would keep doing so after so many years. You have had so many opportunities to turn, and you haven't. Which in a city such as Neap is beautiful.
There's
The
so
main-
much good here. We just need... Everybody just needs to look around and see it.
Well, even if tonight has been a train wreck, as they might call it, or shipwreck, I suppose, is more colloquial, something has come of it. Something good in the end.
I cannot thank you and your friends enough for this. I do need to go see to Charlotte and reach out to her family and do what I can for them. But if I should need you, can I call on you again?
With everything that's transpired and with what you've told me, I'd be more than happy to lend a hand.
Well, hopefully I don't ever need your assistance in anything other than a checkup and exam. Perhaps I should do that. I've been seeing the doctors up here for too long. Maybe that's another way I could help. Stop doing business up here on the sails and do all my business down in the mainmast. That's a good idea, Doc. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Now, and he stands up and kind of smooths out his shirt and he goes, now I have to go take care of my household. And he
Indeed.
begins to walk out of the room to go talk to his other staff and, kind of tell, you can overhear him start to tell them about Charlotte, and you can hear all the girls and the wait staff starting to cry and get upset about everything and stuff like that. But Horngold has told you that you guys are free to go, and thanks you for everything. Is there anything else anybody would like to do before you guys head home for the evening?
Do you think we can get our bounties now?
We are quite a lot, but it's going to take a while, I think.
Well, I didn't mean right now, but like, you need money.
Yeah, we do. Also, we're planning to leave the city, right?
Yeah.
Looks like it's not going to be cheap.
No. So I guess
We could ask for a favor.
should we ask for some, like, how we can contact them soon, or should we just leave and hope we can talk to them at some other point? I mean, we have to go back down, and we can't really get up here again without proper
Right.
cause.
I mean,
Do we want to
can.
ask? Do we want to ask for help in exchange for the help we gave tonight? See if we can get like tickets out of the city.
Yeah, I think we could definitely ask that. I don't think that would be too overstepping.
You
No.
guys are the experts of this town.
I will
Yeah,
say,
but the lowdown, not up here.
I would say if we are to ask anyone, we probably should not ask Cormorant at the moment. He seems to have his hands full, but Horngold might be appreciative enough to at least point us in a direction that might help. He is the Admiral, after all.
I'm going to ask Cormoran.
Okay.
Really?
So,
Yeah. To Cormoran.
oh, yes, sir.
I'm hesitant to ask you this, but we are on short time. We have to get to, what was the name of that town? I am not on my computer, so I don't have my notes.
In Burcoin.
We have to go to Burcoin. In a week, was it?
Yes.
In 1 week. We need passage. We are
To
not rich
Burcoin.
people.
I don't have a ship scheduled to go there, but let me reach out. If I have to, I'll just send. Give me a couple days. Let me see if I can find a reason to go. Is this something you're wanting subtle, or are you okay with me just saying, "Hey, take these guys to Burcoin"?
I don't think it matters.
Don't think it matters. All right. Let me see if I can find a business reason. Just because if I'm sending a ship there, there's no sense in wasting it. But can you give me 2 or 3 days?
Yes. Absolutely.
Excellent. I'll have word sent to the doctor's office.
Excellent. We'll wait for your word and prepare for the journey. Thank you.
Well,
Thank
thank you. Oh, as a note,
Hmm.
in case you guys need anything like this, how many of them are you? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. He walks over and opens a drawer and comes back and hands you a pen. It's they're little like push button pins that you would put on your lapel. You would know they signify you as and that you work for somebody on the sales in the
We're
sales.
employed. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like this. In case you guys need to, I know it's hard sometimes to get up to this level. And with the work that you guys have been doing, I also want you to be able to stop by at any time. These pins give you access to this level at any time you choose it. Now, this is a privilege, and it is something that can be revoked. So I ask that you be mindful of that. And it's got it's got the sales symbol, but it's also got his family symbol on it. So it's like these are of my family. So when you wear this, you represent me. So please keep that in mind.
I understand. Just really the boat ride's all we need, but we appreciate it.
Excellent.
Time to speedrun revoking that, yeah, Doc. Go right ahead.
By the way,
yeah,
do we still...
as 2 of you are ravaging his kitchen, yeah, it's already been revoked.
By the way,
Mhm.
the little sales pin, do we still have that?
You do.
I'm gonna give it back to him. All
Huh.
things considered.
I've been looking for this. Where did you find it?
Well, you remember how I told you they tried to make you look bad? Well, it was at a cult meeting.
Catherine took it.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And we never turned it in because it didn't seem relevant.
We didn't like Burge back then either.
Your instincts were right. And he puts the pin on. He puts the pin on. I'll do what I can to apply pressure for that to be remedied. So I don't know how much is in the fund for bounties currently, but I'll make sure. I'll do what I can to make sure that you guys are compensated.
We'll
Maybe
be all
take
right
it out of
without
his
the bounty.
bonus.
We'll be all right without the bounty. We found other things to help us in that regard. We're not that money hungry that we can't subsist without the bounty. Don't worry. Now take care. We shall leave you to your household.
And as you guys depart, going through the crowd of officers that are outside and different people getting ready to take the bodies and coming in and starting, the crime scene guys are starting to come in to do their part. You guys walk through as you get past this chaos, a quiet, peaceful part of the upper sales level. You guys head home for the evening, and that is where we're going to end this week's session.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. Good job.
So yeah, just to be clear, they were causing all the trouble, trying to put enough pressure on him to where he wanted to get rid of it. So it's not that they were stupid. They just the thing that went wrong was the wife found out about the affairs, right? And then she was going to try to kill her for it, and the whole murder thing ended up unveiling what they were doing. So the fact that Wycliffe couldn't keep that secret, and yes, it was Burke did strangle her and set it up because his thought was like, hey, the only witness, he's like, this is perfect. She gave us an easy out, right? She killed somebody and then hung herself, so it ties up all the loose ends in his mind. But you guys
we
find
had
in the
a good
journal.
doctor.
Yep, you had a good doctor who figured that wasn't right, and you found the journal. That finding her journal was the big thing, and then finding his was really so you guys would understand that Comarin's not a terrible person.
Good job, Cyntari.
Well done, guys.
Yay.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the little murder mystery there. Not sure whose game we'll play next week. Me and Sin will talk about that. But
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
Next week, I will not be available.
You know what? I was in a good mood, and you go and shatter my day.
I was
With
in a
that.
good mood, and then you go and make it better.
But
So yeah, we'll see about next week. But for anybody, all of our friends who are tagging along with us on Twitch, we appreciate you. The VOD will be posted to YouTube in probably the next 24 hours. And, we play at the same time. We try every week, but if somebody's missing, we won't play. But yeah, so appreciate you being here and keep sticking with us. But other than that, everybody else have a great week.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Auf Wiedersehen!
Oh.